Professor Anju Srivastav, Principal Hindu College, to please address the gathering.
Overwhelming moment for all of us. Honorable Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, distinguished guests, faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is my profound honor to welcome you all to Hindu College. Madam Prime Minister, today we feel proud and privileged to welcome you not only as the distinguished leader of a beloved neighboring nation, but as a cherished alumna of this very institution. Your homecoming reminds us that the seeds of learning sown within these walls blossom into lives of leadership, vision, and service across nations and generations. You are an inspiration for our student community, past, present, and future. Hindu College symbolizes excellence in education, our success built on a foundation of inclusion. This institution seeks to cultivate minds that question, hearts that care, and spirits that seek harmony. In the years since you were a student here, the college has continued to evolve, embracing new disciplines, nurturing innovation, and developing a global outlook, while remaining rooted in its timeless ideals of knowledge and service. From about 1,500 students a year when you entered the college, we have now grown to over 4,500 students a year. The spaces in the college that you traversed have grown in step with the student body, with over 190,000 square feet having been added in the last 12 years. Even with these large changes, the soul of the college and its driving spirits remain the same in service of the music of truth. Madam Prime Minister, your journey from these classrooms to the highest office in your nation is a testament to the power of education to transcend boundaries. True learning builds bridges of understanding between communities, between nations, and across the shared waters that connect us all in South Asia. At a time when the world faces both great challenges and great opportunities, your presence here renews our faith in education as the foundation of peace, cooperation, and progress. On behalf of the entire Hindu College family, I extend to you our deepest respect, our warmest welcome, and our heartfelt congratulations on your exemplary journey so far. We remain excited for the path ahead for you and for Sri Lanka. We wish you all success in all your endeavors. Welcome home, Madam Prime Minister. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, the coveted moment has arrived when we can hear from our very own alumna, the one who needs no introduction, an epitome of dedication and determination, a progressive leader with a vision, a Hinduite beyond compare. Please join me in welcoming Madam Prime Minister, Her Excellency Dr. Harini Amarasuriya.
Thank you so much. It's a bit overwhelming It's lovely to be back. It's very emotional for me. When I was here, there was no such auditorium. I don't remember this auditorium at all. All our events, we had to go to the place across the road, which we shall not name. That's where we... So it's great that Hindu College has its own auditorium now. So it's lovely to be back. Thank you for the wonderful warmth with which I was received. It's very emotional for me, but thank you so much. Shri T.C.A. Rangachari, Chairman of the Governing Body of Hindu College, and all the distinguished members of the governing body, Professor Anju Srivastava, Principal, members of the faculty, fellow alumni, dear students, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ayubovan, which in my language means may you live long, Vanakkam, Namaskar, good morning. I think it's good afternoon now, actually. It is a deep personal joy and a profound honor to stand before you today at Hindu College, a place that holds a very special place in my heart. When I walked through the gates of this college as a young student from Sri Lanka in 1991, I think long before some of you were even born, having arrived in Delhi on an ICCR scholarship, I carried with me a mixture of dreams, uncertainties, hopes, questions, and also more than a little nervousness. As I entered the college through the very same gates today, over 3 decades later, I was filled with nostalgia and also admiration. What was once a charming college, but with slightly worn-out buildings, as I recall, has since been transformed into a vibrant institution. I'm told about the smart classrooms, advanced laboratories, and thriving research initiatives that have propelled Hindu College to keep pace with India, which is one of the fastest growing economies in the world today. I also heard that Hindu College is now placed #1 in the national system. So very proud to hear that. Well done, congratulations. 30-something years ago, when I was a sociology student navigating the vibrant yet somewhat overwhelming streets of Delhi, the city was on the cusp of transformation. It was pre-liberalization India. Sri Lanka had already liberalized. India was making a much more gradual transition, and I remember arriving here and Pepsi had just begun, and that was seen as a big deal then. And when I first came, when I was here in 1991, whenever I said my name, they would also, inevitably I would also ask, Jayasuriya, do you know Jayasuriya? I said, I mean, our country is very small, but we don't know each other that well. But I was inevitably asked, do you know Jayasuriya? We are asked, as strange as it may seem, our civilizational bond is also much about education, teaching and the empowerment of the individual. Sri Lanka's written history records that in the 3rd century BC, Emperor Ashoka sent his son Mahinda to Sri Lanka to share the teachings of Buddha. His daughter Sangamitra followed, carrying a sapling of the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, under which the Buddha attained enlightenment. That sapling has grown into a tree which is one of the most revered sites in Sri Lanka still. Reverend Sangamitra established the women's monastic order in my country, empowering women both spiritually and socially. India and Sri Lanka are bound by a common heritage of tradition, values, and mutual respect. These cultural ties are woven into the fabric of our societies. So we may disagree with each other at times, we may not like everything about each other, but I think that's like families, that's like real relationships. You still learn how to live together and work together. At the end of the day, you respect each other. But what I want to emphasize today is the modern dimension of this ancient friendship. India has been an unwavering partner in Sri Lanka's journey, supporting our economic recovery, providing critical assistance during times of crisis, and standing up with us in our pursuit of stability and growth. When Sri Lanka faced her most severe economic crisis in 2022, India extended credit lines, fuel, and essential supplies. These are not forgotten. They are written in the memory of our people. This wasn't just this diplomatic assistance, it was the hand of a true friend extended in our darkest hour. Sri Lanka, for her part, has consistently upheld a solemn pledge, never to permit her soil to be used in a manner that threatens the security of India. This principle remains sacrosanct. Our partnership, as you can see, is clearly not episodic. It is structural. It is not a temporary convenience of today. It is a necessity of tomorrow. The recent high-level visits between our nations, our President Anurakumara Dissanayake visited India in December last year, and Prime Minister Modi visited Sri Lanka just 4 months later in April this year, signal a deepening of this partnership at all levels. The Government of India's generous support for educational infrastructure in Sri Lanka has been transformative. From English language laboratories in our provinces to vocational training centers, smart classrooms in rural schools, and support for financially disadvantaged university students. These initiatives are not just about infrastructure, they are about investing in our shared future and the potential of our young people. The bilateral cooperation in human resource development, including training programs for teachers and officials, reflects our mutual understanding that education is the foundation of national progress. As Sri Lanka charts its course for the future, we see India not just as a neighbor, but as a trusted partner in our quest for development and prosperity. The government of Sri Lanka recognizes education as a primary responsibility and is committed to reducing the financial burden on families while ensuring equal access to quality education across the country. We have a proud history of free education in our country, Madam Principal, that goes back many years, where we provide free education from grade 1 right up to your undergraduate years. And that has been a big part of our success in being able to maintain good human development indicators, even when we've fallen behind in other ways. Vocational education is also a national priority for us now to bridge the gap between classroom learning and demands of the job market. As we enter a new era, it is important that our two countries strengthen our economic ties, enhance people-to-people connections through exchanges like this, and advance regional and global cooperation. The future holds immense potential, and we must work together to realize it. The strength of the Sri Lanka-India partnerships lies in our collective action, in our shared commitment to addressing challenges that transcend borders, whether they involve environmental concerns, economic development, counter-terrorism efforts, maritime issues, or ensuring growth that benefits the peoples of both our countries. For India and Sri Lanka, opportunities are boundless. What is required is the wisdom to seize them. The India-Sri Lanka partnership is also an opportunity for people like you, because you are tomorrow's leaders and entrepreneurs. Whether it's collaborating on renewable energy projects like solar and wind, digital services, technological innovation, or sustainable agriculture and food security, the opportunities are limitless. Although in population sizes at just 21.9 million, we are smaller as a country than the size of the national capital region of Delhi, and we are only 65,000 square kilometers in land area. Our deep water ports and our location can make Sri Lanka an important partner for India's growth. And what we lack in size and number, I think we have in spirit and in resilience. Sri Lanka's Colombo port, for example, already handles a significant portion of India's transshipment. For this reason, I urge you to think regionally as well as globally. The future of the Indian Ocean region depends on young people like you, who can see beyond borders and build partnerships rooted in trust. Leaders who can build an even more inclusive, prosperous, connected, and mutually beneficial India. An India and Sri Lanka partnership, so that future generations in both our countries can thrive in an interconnected, interdependent, peaceful world. I want to say to all the students who are here today, you stand at the threshold of extraordinary possibilities. The education you are receiving at Hindu College is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. Use it wisely. Use it to build bridges, not walls. Use it to heal divisions, not deepen them. Use it to serve, not just to succeed. And I invite you to look south, across the Pork Strait. Consider Sri Lanka not just as a neighbor, but a collaborator and partner. We are a country of ideas and a generous and resilient people. In terms of UNDP's Human Development Index, like I mentioned before, Sri Lanka ranks in the high HDI category, and it is the highest rank in South Asia. We are a country that is rebuilding, eager to learn, teach, and co-create with India. It would be a pleasure to see increasing student exchanges between Indian and Sri Lankan students and researchers working and researching together in institutions, startups, art and culture and other fields. I already saw sort of a slightly fusiony Sri Lanka, India dance happening. All of you have access to knowledge that my generation could only dream of. You know, we were born into an era where television had just started and a smartphone was not even thought of. Can you imagine? We actually had to dial to call each other. Yes. And I hadn't seen a computer till much later in my life. But I would invite you to not measure success only by titles or salaries. Measure it by how many lives you touch, how often and how much of injustice you challenge, and how many bridges you build, not just in societies and communities immediately around you, but regionally and globally. Work to build a better, kinder world for all. Be global in your imagination. Be regional and global in impact. Be conscious of our common humanity and remain deeply human in your values. Thank you for having me here today. I wish you all a fulfilling journey ahead and a bright future. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's lovely to be back. It's lovely to see all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm sure your reminiscences and words will be an inspiration to every student seated here. May I request you, ma'am, to please take some questions that have come from our current students. Thank you, ma'am. As I read the questions, I request the student who has given